Well, it is a gorgeous 45-degree sunny day here in southwest Wisconsin, and I'm definitely enjoying this. Last week, I attended the Midwest Organic and Sustainable Education Services, or MOSES, Organic Conference in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I've been going there for a few years, and I always enjoy going there. I usually get a few ideas, learn a few things. So I've found it to be a positive experience over the years. I'll share just a couple of nuggets of wisdom that I picked up there. One of the uh, one of the workshops I attended was about grazing cover crops, and the presenter at first listed several reasons why it's a good idea to include cattle in your organic operation. And my favorite reason that he listed was that cows will eat your mistakes. And I thought that was pretty good reasoning. Uh, Another piece of wisdom I picked up was actually before one of the workshops started. I overheard a couple of guys talking behind me, and the topic of conversation turned to UTVs, Rangers and Gators and that sort of thing, and how ridiculously expensive new ones are. And one of the guys said, "Yeah, I have a Geo Tracker with 200,000 miles on it that I use to drive around the farm. It's about the same size as a Gator. I paid $1,100 for it." So yeah, at that moment, I knew I was truly among my people. So at any rate, today it's so nice. I've got the door open here in the barn, and one of the one of the reasons I'm really glad I went was because I had the chance to talk to some of the vendors up there, and I was actually able to look at some of the chicken manure products that they have. They had samples there, and they had pellets and they had crumbles. And the crumbles that I saw, they had the consistency. The material was just slightly larger than regular commercial fertilizer, and they said that the crumbles run through dry fertilizer hoppers just fine. And looking at it, I believe them. So after seeing that, I am convinced that I don't have to do anything special to run it through my fertilizer hoppers here on my International 56 planter. But I still do need to get some sort of fertilizer augers. Now I have been playing around a little bit with my with the augers that I've got with the planter here. These are supposed to have well, they call them bearings. I call them shoes on the ends here that the augers ride on, so that the flights don't have to ride on the metal. But these have long since worn away, and the flight's kind of worn down a little bit. So what I started doing with this one, I just took my hand grinder and ground the tops of them down a little so they were flat, and just ran a couple of beads over them with the MIG welder, built them back up again. So I think that will work. I think I can make up some new shoes, fabricate some without too much effort. So yeah, this auger I can get back working again. The other one here is a little bit different deal. This other auger, where these cast iron pieces come together, apparently I think moisture got in there, and it's either froze and expanded, or else started to rust, started to corrode, and it cracked the cast iron here and broke it. So Yeah, that's going to require a little bit different fix. But after looking at it and thinking about it, I think I can fix it. So as long as I've got such a nice day here, I think that's what I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to try and see if I can repair that. As you can see, I cut some of the nasty bits out there, and I've polished this up and cut a couple of slots into there. Now I'm going to take a little piece of steel and put it into these slots. I still have some trimming to do, but put it into those slots, weld it there, and then weld it to the main square shaft. Do that on both sides. And then I have taken a piece of 1-inch pipe, steel pipe, black pipe, not the nasty galvanized, and I've split it in two. So I'm going to once I get these pieces welded in, both of them, I'm going to take my 2 halves of the pipe, which is pretty close to the same outside diameter as the middle part of this. I'm going to take them, put them in place, and then weld it into both of the little pieces of steel. Okay, I've got my 2 strips of metal welded on there. Now I'll see if I can get the pipe attached. I've got the round part all welded on. Now I need to take the hand grinder and grind off the excess material. Okay, I've got the pipe welded together and all the excess material ground off. So we've got a pretty good base to work with there. Of course, even though I've got the this even with the middle section, I have no flights in that spot. So I think what I'm going to do to create flights, I've got a piece of 5/16 rod here, and I think I'm going to just weld this end right here and then heat it red hot with the torch and just kind of bend it around there when it's hot and use that to make my flights. The 5/16 rod is just about the right height there. I might even run a bead of weld on top of it, but that's how I plan to make flights. But I don't know, I might do that tomorrow. Right now it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. and there's a chance of rain tomorrow. So I think right now, while the weather is nice, I will bring the corn planter down in front of the barn and install the fertilizer boxes. I've got the fertilizer boxes pretty much bolted on. I did find that I do need to pick up a few half-inch carriage bolts next time I'm in town to finish putting them on, but they're pretty much there.